So what do we have to do in our third query? Well, at first the query looks alright. I cannot see any issues down here. If I would scroll down, I would see issues, but that's just a side note. Because I don't have to scroll down here, as the issue we have in this query is already indicated by a nice convenience feature provided by Power BI Desktop. If you look back to the second query, you can see this bar up here. This bar is something we have below each single column, so it refers to the values stored in that corresponding column. And as you can see at the moment in our location, time, and so on columns in query 2, we have 100% valid data. This is based on the previous snapshot we can see, so this 1000 value here indicates that this is based on 1000 rows here, but within this 1000 rows we don't have any problem. And if you scroll to the right, you can see that all of these bars are green or completely green, therefore this is okay. But in the third query, you can see that, well, this bar is not complete. As you can see, we have this little gap, and if you hover over this indicator again, you can see that we have 11 empty rows in here. And if I would scroll down a bit, you could see these rows right there. These are errors caused by our source file, so these are of course implemented on purpose here to show you this feature, but also in the practical application of such projects, you have typical cases where problems like this can occur in your source data. Therefore, this indicator is really helpful to quickly see at least issues like that, meaning issues like errors, as I mentioned, not this NA error we had in the last lecture, but real Power BI Desktop errors, and we'll come back to these errors soon. But we can also see that we have empty values. And to remove empty values from our table, we have plenty of options. Well, the first and most obvious option is to hover over this indicator and then to click Remove Empty right here. If you do so, you can see that this bar is now 100% green. This means we have 100% valid data. And if you scroll down, you can also see the blank rows are gone. Additionally, you can also see that we have the step we just did also here in our applied steps column. And as it turns out, what was done automatically by Power BI Desktop was Power BI Desktop applied a filter. You can also see this as the filter symbol right here changed. If you didn't apply any filter, you have a normal arrow right here, but now you have this filter symbol. So if you click onto this, you can see that Power BI automatically removed two values, null and blank, because for Power BI Desktop, both null values or blank values are empty rows, therefore these have to be removed. What does this show us? Well, if I remove this applied step, then we again got this issue. But if you click onto the filter now, you could of course also manually filter out the blank value. And we have the blank value here, but let's now see where the null is. If you click Note More, we still cannot find the null values. What's the reason here? Well, this default feature by default excludes all null values, but apparently we don't have null values in our data. Therefore for us, it would be sufficient to exclude the blank values right here and to press OK. And with that, you can also see that our bar shows us that we have 100% valid data. So this was the second approach, how we can get rid of our empty rows. There is one third approach though, and for this I'll remove our step one last time, so our filter. And now we can go to our home ribbon once again, here to remove rows, and in there we have the remove blank rows option. If we do so, well, as you probably can imagine, we see again that our column is now 100% clean, and this is also true for all our other columns. As we learned, if we remove a value from one column, this will be applied to all our columns, so to all columns and the corresponding row. This time though, we have a different applied step. We have removed blank rows, so we didn't apply a filter here, also indicated by the symbol, which is the default symbol. What's the approach you'd follow here though? Well, to be honest, it doesn't make a big difference in the end. If you don't want to apply a filter, then use the remove blank rows option as we saw it right here. If you want to apply a filter, well, then you can apply it manually or by using this menu here. But as I'm talking about the filter, there is maybe one last thing I would like to show you, because if you hover over this bar, you also have these three dots right here. This menu here now also gives you access to specific actions on the column. Remove empty right here would not be equal to removing blank rows as we did it. This would also apply a filter, so you actually got a fourth option to filter for the data. Again, this might be a bit confusing at this stage, but generally, as I said, you can apply all four methods here. Doesn't make a big difference, to be honest. It just allows you to use Power BI Desktop again, just the way you want to use it. With that, we learned a lot about rows and filters and how we can interact with these. Now it's time to have a look at how we can save the current status of our project.